Everybody, it is Matt Johnson and Greg McDaniel. We are back. This is Real Estate Uncensored, the place where you get actionable insight, inspiration, and something else to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. I forgot our three things. Insight, actionable ideas, insight, inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. And, Greg, and become the rock star agent in your market. Very key. Very key that I get that right, because that's what the show is all about. We're going to have a good time today because we're taking questions. We've got a few specific things that we noticed that we want to talk about. We're also coming off, at least I am, 2 live episodes, one with Jeff Cohn where we talked about leadership and value, and then one with Greg Harrelson and Frank Klesitz where we talked all about database marketing and how to build an asset in your business as opposed to just building a skill set of the ability to talk and persuade people. So we're going to go a little bit deeper in that and some things that we didn't get a chance to cover on that live podcast. That is an edition of the Level Up that you guys should go check out. But first of all, Greg McDaniel, my partner in all things real estate crime related, and to a certain extent other laws that we might violate at some point and not talk about publicly. How are you today?
I have so many comments to that. Oh my God. I'm like, can I say that? Is that ethical?
No, you cannot.
Dude, I'm blown away, dude. Since we started flying our freak flag with EXP, dude, I have had some amazing conversations with super cool people. Like, I just got done with Phil Gore, 28-year-old guy out of Texas, super cool dude. He just joined our team. I basically blew his head off when I explained to him the value-add benefits that when you join our team, what you get. I mean, you get access to me and Matt. You get all of our trainings. You get, 36 to Life. You get access to Jeff Cohn's calls, how to build a mega team that did 750 deals. They're going to do 1,000 deals next year. You get to learn how to do that. You get to, Matt and I are always bringing in more value adds. You get, you can book training calls with Matt. You can book training calls with me at no additional cost. I mean, the list just goes, and he's like, "Are you serious, dude?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm totally serious." And so, I got John Ruckman that came on, Phil came on, Mark came on, Dana came on. So if you guys are, go to Book McDaniel, guys. It's right there in the screen. And book a 30-minute call with me about joining the team. You will, if you're considering doing something, I'm really serious about how much value Matt and I can bring to you guys. And we're going to have a lot of fun. To quote the great Justin Timberlake, we're bringing sexy back.
Oh, God. First of all, Justin Timberlake should never be quoted under any circumstances, even if it's a quote from Trolls. That's his performance of a lifetime. That is the only thing that merits any quoting.
No, I don't even know what that means. But guys, seriously, we're gamifying our team. Like to the person or the team that comes on with us, whoever does the most prospecting, whatever for a month, we're gonna basically down the road just pick up and just say, all right, bye. You're going to Hawaii for 4 days, all expenses paid. Peace out, ninja. The person who got the most epic, go fuck yourselves. Same basic thing, dude. You crushed it. You got your ass kicked. Go to the Bahamas for a couple of days and chill out. You need it. You need a Mai Tai. Okay, Bubba. But it's just gonna be fun like that. We're gonna do small, fun things like that. We're really gonna reward our teams. But yeah, I'm just blown away how awesome it is to be talking with these incredible human beings. I appreciate you guys. It's awesome to watch this thing grow. So I'm feeling very, very grateful. Not for you, Johnson. For everyone else.
Good. That's fine. I'm not that grateful for you either. Okay, so let's dive into a couple of questions here. Love you too, man, by the way. So this comes from the Facebook group Lead Gen Scripts and Objections, a great group run by a good friend of ours, Aaron Wittenstein. Mm-hmm. We've actually got a comment from him that I want to cover too here in a second. But our initial question is from Sean Bronson. The question is, what's the best way to handle a sign call? They want to see a hot listing. And this is his commentary on it. No time for a buyer consult. They want to see it the same day, and you agree to be shown ASAP to have a chance, right? So the scenario is you as the agent are acknowledging that, yeah, you got either you're going to take this right now or you have no shot at this person. They're going to move on to the next door monkey who can open the door. So the question is, do you attempt to whip out the buyer contract at the house or be a bit more cautious? So basically, what's the best way to handle this so that you don't waste your time and end up losing this buyer lead, but so they also don't end up wasting your time and spending time with this buyer lead who then does not actually buy a home through you? Greg, what say you?
What say I, Johnson?
What say you?
What say I? What I would say is this, is that, you qualify them on the phone. Ask them straight up, are you working with an agent to help you purchase a property? If they say yes, say, great, call that fucker. Don't waste your time because they're not going to work with you. I have gone in my beginning years. I would go out. I would just jump up and I'd run out and I'd talk to them. They're like, oh, it's great. Our agent's out of town. We'll be able to. We'll have them write up the contract. Well, what the hell am I doing here? You just wasted my business day. And so ask them if they have an agent right up front. And then if they do, great, have them call the other agent. Because if it's your listing, you're getting paid either way. And if they're gonna work the other agent, honestly, guys, don't waste your time. I just don't do it. If they don't have an agent, and ask them, hey, would you guys work if I open this door? Would you guys be willing to see a couple of additional properties with me that I can find, at a later date, or come back to the office and we can look through the MLS together and go out and look at some more homes. Okay. Well, just ask the questions that you're afraid to ask on that initial call, because it does you no harm if you're just to ask them right then and there. Why drive out there if you're not? Johnson, what did you do in the past? Oh boy.
You'll be thrilled to know that I never worked with buyers.
Oh, God.
So I literally have no experience. Because I had a business partner. We started a team right off the bat. So he worked with buyers, I worked with sellers, and so I never had to worry about it. Now, if I was running a team and I had to answer this for, my clients or my agents in the office who are, and I was in charge of setting policy. Mm-hmm. My policy would be, well, hey, company policy is, or team policy is that, before we show a home, we have to have a signed buyer agency agreement. But more importantly, we have to just make sure that you've been through, whether it's your lender or ours, but that you have that you're pre-qualified essentially, and you have a letter from a lender that says that you can afford the house that you want to see. Because the worst thing we can do is show you a house that's about 5% out of your price range, and then every home that you can actually afford that's in your comfort zone looks like crap. And that's the problem with a lot of the HGTV watching. That's kind of how I would present it. Now in real life, when something like that comes up and you basically have a really hot buyer lead that they might buy that house if you can just get them in, and it's a judgment call. And I would have just agents that have been in the business long enough to where I would trust their judgment. And then there's other agents, like newer agents, that they just flat out wouldn't be allowed to do that. Right? If you don't have the judgment to know or take the chance and understand intelligently that you are taking the chance and know how to deal with it and be good at persuading them when you're in person that they're going to work with you without an agreement, I would, if you're not that person yet, then just honor your own time and don't go out with them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, that it is honoring your time. And I think you brought up a really good point. I blanked on the whole, make sure they're pre-approved before you spend a lot of time with them, because they could just be, just tire kickers. And you have to also be careful if it's a big listing. Greg, I did this. These people put on a very nice facade, and they pretended to be high-end buyers. I was so dazzled with the dollars at the end of the deal that I didn't follow procedure, and I got led around by my nostrils for 2 weeks, and then found out that these people were completely full of shit. All they wanted to do is be driven around and go see nice houses.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. They legitimately, that they were not just people who had bigger eyes than their stomachs. They literally just wanted to be driven around and hang out and look at houses.
Mm-hmm. They wanted to feel rich, and I'm like, you asshat.
Wow.
And so be careful of those. If they're calling on high-end listings, definitely make sure that they're pre-approved. Protect your time. Don't pull a Greg and don't be led around by your nose. That happened one time. It did not happen a second time. No. No. Bad Greg. But yeah, be careful of that as well.
Yeah, that's really good. Let's talk about, this is a good question from Rick Carrier. It says, I have a database of past clients going back to 2001, which, by the way, congratulations to you, Rick. That's fantastic. He says, I'm missing birthdays on most, and much of the data is old now. Do you know of any resources that I can use to update their contact info and get birthdays? I really want to make it a goal of mine to work my past clients' sphere this year. So I think the best source there, yes, but before that, obviously picking up the phone and calling them, that would be fantastic. You can supplement that, or it can be a step before you call them. You can research them on Facebook, right? So if you can find them on Facebook and then friend request them, obviously calling them and letting them know that you're reconnecting and then sending the friend request afterwards is better. But who knows? If there's a few hundred people in his past client database, yeah, pick up the phone and call. And you just say, basically the script is, hey, John, I just wanted to get back in touch. I am epically bad epically bad at keeping in touch. I know I'm horrible. I'm trying to get better. I've got a plan that I'm working on to do better at keeping in touch with people. But I just wanted to reach out and see how you're up, how you're doing. What are you up to lately? Is this a good time to chat? First of all, I've just got a couple minutes in between meetings. I thought I'd give you a quick call. All right, so chit chat, yada yada, great. Hey man, I'm super excited for you. You've got baby number 17 on the way. It's going to be awesome. You need like a 5-bedroom house. I got you covered. I'll keep an eye out for you. I'll be in touch. Like, hey, by the way, what's your? I want to make sure that I send you a nice card. What's your birthday? Or something like that. Or you can just say, hey, I'm going to connect with you on Facebook, and then Facebook will tell you that information. Then you can surprise them with a send-out card. That would be the cooler thing to do, is just let them know, like, hey, I'm going to connect with you on Facebook. I'm going to reach out and shoot over a friend request, and that way we can do a better job of keeping in touch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the send-out card idea. But I mean, in all honesty, just ask these people. It's a great way. I mean, say, hey, look, guys, I'm updating my database. Looks like my birthday field, I neglected to fill that in when we worked together. What is your birthday, man? I want to make sure I celebrate you.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Greg, it was yesterday. Thanks for remembering.
You know what? That's why. That's exactly why I'm calling. I had an intuitive sense that it was, and I want to take you out for a beer.
See, this is how well trained Greg is. I threw a giant spinning rock at him, and his first response was, "That's exactly why I'm calling." And then he made up the rest of it on the fly. All you need to know about that, what just happened, is Greg knows just to say, "That's exactly why I'm calling." And in the space of him saying, "That's exactly why I'm calling," you figure out how to tell them, "That's why I'm calling."
Uh-huh. You know what? It's tomorrow. You know what? That's exactly why I'm calling. My spidey sense went off, and I knew I had to call you, man. Whew, thank God, right? What are you doing for lunch? Let's go do lunch right now. Let's go do lunch. What do you think?
Greg, I'm really not interested. You're not my kind of guy. But let's.
Well, I'm not that kind of lunch, weirdo.
Okay, let's see. So there's a question here from Alex Vargas. Says, I know this has been asked a few times, but not finding the answer. So once you call expireds, FSBOs, withdrawns, that kind of thing, and you drop a voicemail, does anyone shoot a text to them if they don't answer their phone? And if so, what do you say in the text? So, Greg, how do you feel about texting a cold lead?
You could do it, but I wouldn't lead with. Why are you laughing your ass off so much?
Because Paul Franklin is watching the show, and God bless you, Paul. I love your comments. The quote is, quote, Greg is full of shit, Matt Johnson, 117, 2018. That was his summary of the last 2 minutes of the show, which is great. All right, so anyway, getting back to the texting, texting cold leads.
Okay, so what I would do is I would definitely put a call into them first, and then if they don't pick up, just text them, hey, this is Greg McDaniel with the McDaniel Callahan Real Estate Team. I just got a information request on 123 Main Street. I just put a call into you. Unfortunately, we weren't able to connect. Please give me a call when you have a free moment. Love to talk about, love to answer any questions about the home. Just do something along those lines. But just let them know, hey, I called you, because they're going to see a missed call, so let them know that the missed call was yours, and this random number that they don't know. The same number as the text. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them in the text, and then try to maintain or establish communication with them.
Yeah, I've heard of people having really good success with that. Now, granted, a lot of this has been tested more in the buyer and seller online lead kind of area. I don't know of anybody who's publicly shared, at least that I've seen, their success rates with actual trackable numbers of using the strategy with like expireds and FSBOs. Although I will say culturally, we're getting to the point, especially like Greg, anyone, our age probably and younger, number one, we don't pick up the phone for people we don't know. And it's become, because of that, now it's become more culturally acceptable that you call somebody, and then if they don't pick up, you text them to let them know who just called so that they can make a decision on either calling you back or answering your next phone call, right? Now, the other way to do that is you can also flip that. You can also flip that and say, hey, it's so-and-so, I'm going to call you here in 5 minutes, and then you can pick up, then you can call, and if they want to talk to you, they'll pick up, and if they can't, they won't. So there's a couple of options there. But yeah, I think it's getting more culturally acceptable to call and then text people. And the people that I know that are doing it, especially on the buyer lead conversion side, because it's so trackable and there's so much numbers and raw data to work with, they see an immediate uptick in conversion, like a massive uptick in conversion when they just text immediately after calling and getting no answer. Like people are, they're seeing you call, they're ignoring you.
Yeah, I know. It's like your dating life. No, I'm kidding.
Thinking more about what's when you call me. That's when calls are being ignored. It's when you call me, Greg. That's the joke.
That is so
Oh,
true,
man.
though. That is honestly a true fact, guys. Like, I will call Matt to be like, hey, dude, we got to talk about something. Click, voicemail. Matt, click, voicemail. Motherfucker. All right. Hey,
So now-
hey
so now
Matt,
we're set up-
voice text to Matt. Hey, Matt, I've called you a couple times, and yeah, I went to voicemail.
Yeah.
Radio silence for the next hour. God
That's
damn
right.
it. Then immediate response. Hey, dude, what's up?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, I would like to point out, and this is why I encourage you to send text instead of voice text in the majority of cases, although we are set up on Voxer, so you can send me voice messages. God help us all. But the reason I encourage you to send text messages is because, and a lot of people are this way, they can't necessarily listen to your voice message. Like, you don't want to be, now in my case, it's because I'm freaking booked back-to-back on calls. But if you're an office worker and you're sitting in your cubicle, you don't want to be seen doing this with your cell phone. Like, oh.
Dude, this is what earbuds are for, okay?
That's
Earbuds.
actually not a bad idea. That is true. But I don't know how many. If you're working in a cubicle and you're listening to this within the sound of our voice, Greg is publicly endorsing you putting your AirPods in and listening to our podcast and/or texting and calling your friends from work.
Of course I am. Are you kidding
That's
me?
right.
All the time.
Speaking of doing things that you shouldn't be doing at work, Jamie Jennings says, wondering if anyone had a script or something they use when on floor duty. Good Lord, people still do floor duty? That's still a thing? That those two words are still put together in the English language? How is that possible, Greg?
Because there's a lot of older folks that still get floor duty. Although, we had floor duty. There's not a lot of calls. When I was at my old brokerage, I would go talk to Debbie up in the front. Dude, the phones are silent because everybody's calling their agents through these now, cell phones or social media, or like the lines of communication have shifted. Like we were just talking about texting, cell phones, social media. I mean, apps. Landlines. I mean, I think outbound prospecting calls, to landlines. I don't know if it's going to be an effective art in 5 years. I think the paradigm will have shifted so greatly. So therefore, would floor time be effective? And I think only in high traffic retail locations. The old brokerage, they had an office in a city called Pleasanton. It was in an office park, guys. There was no foot traffic. Why? What now?
No, just we've got great comments. We'll bring them up when you're done talking, Greg.
I can see you, right?
But you're right.
When you start rolling your head back and doing the silent laugh, I know there's going to be some barb coming my direction.
There will be, but it's not for me, which is great because I love when other people make fun of you, so it makes my job easier. I can take the podcast off. But no, you're right about like floor duty. Like if you're expecting physical walk-in traffic, like there's a great location of Coldwell Banker in Pacific Beach, right next to World Famous. Maybe the people that go down there, that go to the beach and they go, holy crap, I have to live here. That's exactly what I said when I went to Pacific Beach. Now, I didn't obviously go to my nearest realtor office.
Yeah, you busted
I
out
don't know
the
how
cell
many people
phone.
my age are going to do that, but maybe.
Yeah, but you probably got on the cell phone and probably got on the Zillow or Trulia and looking at the rentals or, Craigslist, but you did it from this device, right?
Right. Yep. Here's the other reason, and because floor duty in your brokerage or in your team may refer to the time when you're expected to be in the office and receiving online leads, right? So you've got floor duty could mean that's you're in the rotation for receiving leads, but they're not physical walk-in leads. They are online leads that come in off the website, and you're expected to be on duty. Now, that could be in person in some cases, or it could just mean their version of floor duty is you are tied to your cell phone for the next 24 hours there, buddy, and we expect you to pick up the lead, pick up the call. If you get a lead, if you get a text or whatever that says there's a lead, call them back within 5 minutes, right? Some teams expect 2 minutes, and we know that the faster you get to those, the better. If it's that kind of floor duty, if you're on a team that distributes real actual leads from real websites that they pay to send people to, then floor duty may be worth it. But it reveals a bigger issue that I want to get into. But first, I'll read a couple of the comments that I mentioned. Rob St. Job is watching. Love you, Rob. He says, my script for floor duty, I have other more important things to do. I will fax you when I'm interested in signing up. I love that.
I'll fax you.
Great comment. And Paul says floor duty is antiquated, but there is a great opportunity to get admin work done. He did, however, pick up a $400,000 cash buyer about a year ago, simply because he happened to be in the office. Hey man, you never know. What the blind squirrel occasionally does find the nut, and sometimes buyers or sellers will occasionally wander into a real estate office and actually be legitimate. Wyatt says his 5-year plan is to be Matt's neighbor in PB and eat sushi every Friday in PB, Pacific Beach. That's a pretty damn good plan. I love PB. But the bigger thing that I want to talk about, Greg, is a lot of the questions, like questions about floor duty, questions about like putting yourself in a position to get really, really cold leads. It only goes so far, and it's wildly uncontrollable, and it's 100% dependent on your skill at building trust very, very quickly. Now, there's some people that are really naturally good at that or have become very good at it. Greg, I don't know if you consider yourself a natural or not, but it's undeniable that you're very good at it now, right? Mm-hmm. Especially after growing up, learning from the Grandmaster. You're very good. Like, so you enjoy the challenge of taking a phone call with somebody that doesn't know you, doesn't trust you, and turning them into somebody that all of a sudden has a great conversation with you.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you enjoy that. I did that yesterday, actually. I did a follow-up in the morning at 8:30. Talked to, I don't know, maybe one time. So, that was a completely cold, right?
Okay.
Not only is she selling in 6 weeks, her next door neighbor is a real estate agent. I talked to her for 47 minutes and 26 seconds. I checked my phone. I know the numbers. And the end of the conversation was, wow, Greg, you know what? I think you're a better fit for us than our neighbor next door to list our property. I'm going to talk to my husband. Call me on Thursday. Hopefully we can get you to list our property. Wait, you're asking me to list your property now? Okay. So yeah, it just takes time on task to do this stuff, but you can get good at it. I think that when it comes to outbound, acquiring someone who has no knowledge of you, you have to be in the mindset of giving before you get. So you want to bring more value to that person so that then the law of reciprocity comes back and they want to do something to thank you. That's what I did to her. I gave her a ton of value, more value, and gave her information about things she didn't know. I showed her how to use Zillow and how to use the Make Me Move, so when she moves to Florida, she can maybe find a house out there that's not on the market. Maybe she can pick up and not have competition. She's like, I didn't even know this existed. This is amazing. Then I blew her head when I came to doing Facebook videos and helping get more buyers into the house. So just think of the other person. What's the problem that they have that you can solve? Once you solve the problem that they have, I mean, if they're a decent human being, they're going to want to repay you in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, that's my mindset when I go out there and I'm doing these prospecting calls. I'm doing it so that I can bring value, not take. So many people just want to take. I didn't get a listing. I didn't get a buyer. I didn't get a lead. Fucker, it's all about you at this moment, isn't it? Has to be about the other person first. End of story.
Yeah, 100%. Rob has a great comment. You can't withdraw money from a bank account you've never deposited into. Absolutely true. But the bigger point that I wanted to get to is that a lot of agents, well, they don't look at the businesses that we're in as a business, and that goes for not just agents, but a lot of solo entrepreneurs in every industry, right? They look at it, we look at it for too long as a job, right? We look for way too much direction. We're looking for a broker to be our boss. We're looking for them to tell us what to do. We're looking for it to be structured like a job and have all the benefits of a job, but then none of the restrictions and none of the responsibilities. Like, we want to be like freewheeling. We can come into the office whenever we want, but then we also want the security of a regular paycheck and people kind of being obligated to work with us and, leads falling from the sky, like just being assigned work as if you were a worker, as if you were an employee. Just having work given to you and assigned to you. That's not the way it works. You can't have time freedom and complete freedom to build the business the way you want to, but then have work assigned to you that just kind of falls into your lap. So the thing that I was talking about with Greg Harrelson on another podcast earlier today that I think is really good and I want to go a little bit more in depth on is, what's the real asset that you're building? Right, most agents spend their entire careers, and the most they ever do, maybe, is build the asset of their own skill set, and that's debatable. Greg, I'm sure you know a lot of agents who have relived their first year in the business 20 times over. They have not learned anything new. They don't keep in touch with their past clients. They're literally reliving the same year in real estate over and over again. So that's worst case. Well, the worst case scenario is they relive year number 1 and year number 2, and then they're out in year number 3. That's what we really want to prevent. Like that's the mission of the whole show, is to keep that from happening. So you've got that first level, which is you spend all of your time kind of building your skill set. Most people never make the shift that your dad made, which was that, yes, I'm going to build my skills, and yes, I'm going to get really good at talking to people, but the real asset is the relationships that you have with a group of people who look to you as the expert and bring you in, and they call you, or they pick up the phone when you call just to kind of shoot the shit, and they want to work with you. The only question is, when are they going to work with you? Like, that's what you want. You want that audience of people that it's not a question of if they're going to work with you. The only question is when.
Yeah, 100%. Quick shout out, my boy Ryan Shea. What up, homie? And that is very true, and that's what we teach. What Hank and I teach in 36 to Life. It's how to create raving fans, how to create this pipeline of people that if you call them up at 12 o'clock at night. If I called Matt, I said, Matt, dude, meet me at 7-Eleven, bring a ski mask and $10,000. Don't ask any questions. Mm-hmm. Matt would be like, which 7-Eleven? The one on First or one on Main? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll see you there.
Yeah, are we talking like unmarked bills, non-sequential? Like how can I PayPal it to you? Would that be better? Like, I mean, that'd be much more convenient than trying to find a bank open at midnight that I can get $10,000 in cash.
But my point is to see how Matt was actually thinking about how to get it. Like, how can I get the money to him? Okay, I'll meet him there. 2 masks or 1 mask? That's what 36 to Life will help you build, so that when you won't be starving for leads anymore. You'll be doing 36 deals or more a year, and these people are going to be picking it up and going like, yo, Johnson Face, McDaniel. Yo, bro. Yeah, everyone's good. Hey, man, I just made $1 billion. I need to buy a bigger house. Okay. All right, let's go buy some houses. And it's that direct call to Matt with good news, not even thinking about the guy who puts out 10 billion postcards every month. It's just like, dude, Matt's my boy. This is my go-to. I will refer him and end relationships with people if they don't use him, because he's so valuable to me, because he's done something for me in my life. And this isn't reality. This is fiction, Johnson. Don't get all excited. And so...
No, but I will tell you a real story.
Mr. Stoneface.
Story time with Matt. So I was hanging out with Chris Lockhead up in Santa Cruz, and we went down to Pleasure Point and we grabbed something to eat, and we're coming back, and all of a sudden he sees like a couple and their kids. And like the kids run up to him and they're like hugging him and like sword fighting, like they gave him a sword and they're sword fighting and stuff like that. And then they chit chat and yada yada. And then we walk away. I'm like, who was that? And he's like, oh, that was my realtor. I'm like, what? I'm like, really? Like, yeah, he's my real estate guy. I'm like, that's what you want.
That is what you want. I mean, that's the whole point of this. All of us, including me, I'm learning the 36 to Life. I'm on this journey as well. 2019 is going to be a way different year than 2018 when it comes to real estate deals falling in my lap without having to do outbound prospecting as much and aggressively as I am now. You always have to do something to fill the pipeline.
Yes,
right? Because people die off, people move away, your pipeline will get smaller, okay? So I think that if you can make it a relationship-based business versus a transaction-based business, you're going to have a lot more fun working with the people that you've worked with in the past, and they like you and you like them. Like Chris and his agent. Dude, they're like, hey, let's hug it out, homie. How are you? What's new? The kids look great. Let's do dinner. Fantastic. Like Casey, my lender. Dude, his agent up in Nevada, in Tahoe, dude, they go to dinner all the time. They have them over for drinks. I mean, they go out together. They're friends. Mm-hmm. When Casey's going to buy another property up there, if it's in Nevada, he calls that guy. If it's in California, he better fucking call me or I'll cut his dick off. But it's that kind of relationship. Bodily maiming,
Yeah, it's that kind of relationship.
Yeah, it's that kind of relationship.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, and I think Greg Harrelson mentioned something that was really good. He said that when you're making calls, and this is when they're outbound or inbound, whatever, just the conversations that you have with people, the context that you have for it in your own head is really important, and he's absolutely right. Right? So when you think of yourself and you really come to understand that you are the in-demand expert, you are the respected professional, you're the rock star at what you do, and what you do is help people get what they want in a certain area, and yours happens to be real estate, it changes the context in your own mind when you're having a conversation with somebody. The conversations are different, right? They feel different to you. Like they definitely feel different to the other person, but just like internally, they feel different to have those conversations. And I think that's really important because it changes, you can change the context, right? You can feel differently about the types of conversations that you're having with people. That's why someone like Chris has those types of conversations with his agent, is he's looking at that guy as, you're the respected professional, you're the guy that does what you do, but you're also an A person in my life, and we can hang out, we can spend time, there's a relationship there, but you're also the respected professional. Right, and that's kind of the ideal, is you want that relationship, you want them to know, like, and trust you, but you want them really to definitely trust you as the respected expert, and you want to have that sense of confidence about yourself, because then that changes just how it feels to pick up the phone and call people. You're not just somebody that's trying to sell them something to get what you want. Right? Those conversations where you're sitting down and you're just helping somebody get what they want, they feel different. And I think agents would have a lot more of those conversations if they realized how different they should feel. Like, you feeling like you're inferior to the other person, or feeling like you're trying to get them to do something just so that you get a commission check out of it, like that doesn't feel right. That's because it's not right. That's not the way it's supposed to be, right? So it doesn't feel right to you because it isn't right. And that's one of the things that we teach. So if you end up, partnering with us or taking one of our courses or whatever, that's one of the core principles that everything is based on. It's, you are the respected professional. You are the rock star in your market. That's why we talk about that right up front in the show. That's why, because it changes every single conversation that you have.
Or just join our EXP team, guys. And when I say join our EXP team, you're going to be independent on your own. You just be on with in our brand, and you get all the value adds. So all the courses that Matt just talked about, you get them for free if you guys join us. I mean, just want to throw that in there, quick blog.
Yeah, good point.
Howard, how are you guys? Howard is coming in from Israel. So what's up, buddy?
Howard, welcome. Karina has a great question. She's watching live and says, what's the script for the Zillow Make Me Move? Greg?
Okay, so this is what I've been finding to be incredibly powerful, and it takes people aback a little bit, and they honestly are genuinely excited for you to come out and see the house. So for the Make Me Moves, everyone's talking about, hey, I want to come over, let me take a look at your house, I can bring buyers, the same typical scripts, right? So I flipped it on its head, and I did this. Hey, Matt, Julie, your three obese little insulin-sucking, wood-denting little troll babies. Hey, I see that your home... troll babies. Now they're troll babies.
Troll babies. Right. They all look like Shrek. Shrek's kids.
Solid concrete, steel, and reinforced floors house. So I would say this. Hey, Matt. Hey, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent in the area. I was looking on Zillow, and I noticed that you're... interested in potentially selling your home. Just wanted to see if that's still something that you guys are looking to do. I found you on Make Me Move. Are you guys thinking about selling your home?
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, no? You want to full on role play? Yeah, Greg. We've been thinking about it. We put that up. I mean, it's been a while. I don't even know what price we set, but yeah, I mean, we're open to it, I guess.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly why I was calling. So look, I don't want your listing. I want to make that very clear. I don't want your listing right now. What I would love to do is I would love to come over, and I would like to do a Facebook Live about your property and get some more eyeballs on your property, just to kind of expose you at no cost, and just kind of walk around, because I meet a lot of people as well at open houses and just around town. This could be something that I haven't met them yet, but they might be down the road. But first and foremost, what I want to do is I want to come over and shoot a live video, and then we're not going to give away the address. We're not going to give away the street. We'll tell them what city it's in. And then we'll walk through and show them the amenities, and then I will be the filter for you, so you won't be pestered. I'll be the filter for all the buyer inquiries that come back my direction, and then I will take them to a lender. I will vet them, make sure that they are actually able to buy your home. Then we will set up a showing, and I'll bring them through your home and see if we can get a deal. But you are cooperating with real estate agents, right? Oh, you are. Okay, good, perfect. You know what? That's awesome. My fee is only 2.5%. It's not the full 5%. Yeah, I only charge 2.5%. So good. Let's do this. Let's set a date. What works well? What works best for you? And that's the script.
Saturday at 9:00. Okay. Interesting.
Every single time that I do this, people are first off blown away at the fact, like, that's really the words. Wow, that's really creative. I really like this idea. Because they're not being threatened. I'm not pitching them on a listing opportunity. I'm bringing value to them first, and I'm building a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, well, why would you go in there and spend your time? Because when I go in and I start talking to Matt and Julie and we start building a relationship together and we start talking, and I'm going to start dropping little things about the market. I'm going to start having some information about different properties and comparables, what we're seeing out there. I'll tell a few scary stories about lawsuits that we've heard about. I'm starting to lay that groundwork so that they're like, oh, dude, I don't think I really want to do this anymore. I mean, fuck, you don't just hire this guy? So then, again, the law of reciprocity, if I have brought so much value to you up front, and then, I stay in touch with you, because I'm going to keep calling you back and say, hey, I got a couple inquiries, they weren't right, blah, blah, blah. Just stay there. Be relevant. Be in front of them. Then potentially when it's time to list a home, you have a very good chance of at least getting a call to come throw your hat in the ring, if not just the call of, hey, dude, we got to move. My wife just got a job transfer. Dude, you've been so awesome to us. Could you come and can you do whatever you do and get this thing sold? Sure, man. Not a problem. I'll come on over right now. We'll put it into action. So for me, what I do at that point, since I have viral marketing and they do special projects for me, I'm taking these videos, I'm uploading them to viral, and I'm instructing them to put together a 3-minute or 2-minute little sizzle reel of the highlights of that property with some overlay text and some other stuff. And then I'm going to take that video, and it has music and has all that cool stuff, and then I'm going to push that out as a Facebook ad for $20. Mm-hmm. Peep, guys, I am telling you right now, that right there is a winning recipe to get people on Make Me Moves to really get excited about working with you. That's also a potential FSBO opportunity as well. Maybe even an expired. You can even potentially use that for expireds. I don't know why that wouldn't be a good thing for expireds. Yeah. And so let's out to you. Well, hold on one second. The other side of this is that if you don't get the listing, mm-hmm. you're going to get buyers calling you, so you'll pick up more buyers. It's like an open house that just comes to you. Yeah, ooh, that's good. An open house that comes to you. Just made that up right now. It's true, though.
Yeah, that is true. So there's an interesting thing I wanted to ask you about this. When you are on the phone with somebody like that, I don't know if anybody else felt this, but when you said, what I'd like to do is come over, before you explained why you wanted to come over, my immediate reaction was, now maybe that's just because I don't want to hang out with Greg, but
that's just you.
That's just me? Okay. But my feeling is that would create some resistance, that you can very easily prevent that from happening by simply explaining what the end result is, that you like, the way that you want to help them first before you explain to them the next steps or what it starts with. Like, I get that it starts with you coming over, but what I mean is that I would think you'd want to start with something like, here's the deal. I'm not interested in listing your home right now. As long as you're cooperating with people, we have a lot of buyers that we're working with. So if you're open to us bringing a buyer to you, we're totally cool with that. But what I'm curious about is I would love to help you potentially get more buyers into the home. Is that something you might appreciate some help or some support on? Get there, get some agree, like start where there with it, like dangle the carrot on the end of the stick, then explain, okay, well, if that's something that's of interest, here's how we could potentially do that.
And that's logical, but what I'm trying to do, and what has been successful with me on this, is that I'm trying to be completely different than any other pitch, because I don't want them to start tuning me out like, oh, this guy just wants to list my house again, or just wants to bring a buyer.
Yeah, that's
really
tough to overcome. Yeah.
But so I'm like, I'm hitting that up front.
Do you want to get straight to the Facebook Live?
I want to shoot a Facebook Live for you, and see if we can get more eyeballs on your home, that people that may not know about Make Me Move on Zillow, just expose you out to more people. Mm-hmm. And with that lead, they're thinking, okay, so he wants to do something for me. He's not asking for my listing. Okay, well, what's his Facebook Live?
My first question as a homeowner would be, okay, well, what's in it for you? Right, so you come over and you do a Facebook Live together where you showcase the home and get more buyer eyeballs on it. What good is that to you?
You know what? I'm an agent. I work here in the area. I see that you guys are trying to move. I'm looking for more clients, and if I get to work with you on the listing side, fantastic. But it's not something I'm going after today. But I'm always looking to work with more buyers, and if I can get one that would fit your home, I'd love to represent their interests so that we can all get to the ends that we all want to get to. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they're not stupid, man. Why hide the fact that, look, I'm looking to pick up clients. You have a problem. You got to sell that house. I got a problem. I want more clients. Let's work together. Get this thing sold. It's no skin off your ass if I come over and do a live video. I'm not exposing anything about your actual location, so there's no safety concerns. I'm not, there's obviously, the kids and family photos wouldn't be filmed unless the kids were leading me around the house, which does happen. The little kids like, come see my room. I'm like, ah, shit. Okay. It's a germ fest in there. I'm going to come out sick. Okay. But it has just been an absolutely every single person I've pitched this to has said, wow, that's amazing. That's so awesome. That's inventive. And yes, let's book something. I mean, I have them calling me back, going, hey, dude, I can't. Like, I had a guy who's gonna go film his ranch in the Richmond Hills. He called me up. I was like, hey, dude, I gotta put it off because a water main busted in my bottom unit and it flooded the place. But I'm fixing it, and it should be done in about 2.5 weeks. Call me in 2.5 weeks. I definitely want to do this with you. It's very powerful stuff. So that is your script for Make Me Moves, guys. It's just about building a relationship with these people because they don't know you and they're tired of being pitched. That's why do you think they're not listing it with a real estate agent? They don't want to work with a real estate agent because they don't like real estate agents. So build a rapport. There. It's effective.
Yes. Rob is watching, Rob Leeton, and hopefully I got that last name pronounced correctly. It says mobile virtual open house. It's not bad. I like it. It's good terminology for that. So, and then he asked what's viral video producing. Just, Rob, go look up getviral.com, viral with a Y, and you will see what they do. Greg is a client. That's actually how I met Greg. And then Robert's watching from Atlanta, and he questions the 2.5%. So, Greg, can you just briefly cover when you say, hey, Mr. Seller, I don't charge 6%, I don't charge 7%, I only charge 2.5%. What do you mean by that?
So, guys, think about it. Your total commission when you say walking. So, in our market, it's a 2.5% commission. That's standard operating, commission for us. We're in a higher price point. Our average listing price is about $1 million. So, 2.5% is $25,000. Ding! Yes, I will take that. And so, what I'm also doing is I'm cementing in their mind a very low number. So I say, you know what? That's totally good. My commission is only 2.5%. Leave that sign. That's a commission a script that we can get into. But the only thing they're thinking about, they were thinking 5 or 6%, but they hear 2.5%. They're like, this is a bargain. Okay. And if you do list it, then you turn around to them and say, okay, Matt, my commission is only 2.5%. What do we want to offer to the buy side?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't know. What's normal? About 2.5. Okay, so each of you guys 2.5. Yeah, both of us 2.5. Guess what number they're thinking about? 2.5. They're not thinking 2.5 plus 2.5 equals 5. That's 10. Here's 5. My math is fantastic.
Leave that alone. Anthony Caruso has a good question. How's the team doing with EX Pitch to get listings? And here's the deal, guys. This is an, I guess I feel like it's an odd concern. I feel like there's a lot of agents out there that really take pride in the brokers they're with, and that's cool. I would say the areas where that comes into play the most is, Greg, if you were like in an area where you guys were with the 800-pound gorilla in your specific area, right? So the brokerage that you were with before was nobody else gives a crap who they are, but everybody in your neighborhood at least, or the neighborhoods that you worked, seemed to know the name. I don't know if that makes a bit of difference. I mean, I've worked for 2 different brokerages. Both of them were local. Some were more well-known than others. What was funny about that is that back in Omaha, guess what's not big? Keller Williams. Keller Williams has 0 foot. It's the largest freaking brokerage in the world, and they have no footprint. The 2 of the 3 biggest brokerages in Omaha were local, like NP Dodge. Well, still the biggest, NP Dodge. Nobody's heard of NP Dodge. That's the biggest brokerage in Omaha. And nobody's heard of it. Then you take Keller Williams, who's all around the world at this point, and you walk in there and you say you're a Keller Williams agent in Omaha, and they go, who? So the whole thing of like, a national brand being super important to the client, I completely disagree, and I think it's totally irrelevant. If somebody asks you, like, hey, like if you're sitting in a listing presentation in Omaha, Nebraska, and they go, who's EXP? I've heard of NP Dodge, I've heard of Berkshire Hathaway, who's EXP. Oh, it's another brokerage. We just expanded into the state, so I joined up with them because they've got a lot of great benefits for me as an agent. They empower me in these 2 or 3 ways, but at the end of the day, they're going to sign the listing with you, or they're going to choose to make an offer on a home through you because they like and trust and know you, and they don't give a crap about your brokerage.
No, they really don't. Some people will do it because they're being conditioned to say, oh, I'm with Remax, or I'm with Keller Williams, but Keller Williams in my area has almost a 0% of footprint. I mean, you just don't see the signs, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when people ask me, so what's EXP? I'm like, oh my God, it's absolutely insane. This thing has doubled their agents. It's the fastest growing company, real estate, brokerage in the U.S. right now. We're at 6,500 agents and just burning through people. People are coming. They are jumping ship on all the other main brokerage to get a part of this. Their technology is insane. The people are amazing. The support is out of this world. Mm-hmm. That's why we made a jump. And that's why it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, it's amazing. Basically, pull Donald Trump. Just say it's amazing about 100 times.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
It's huge. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. Right. I'm not making fun of Donald.
But always make sure that you bring it down. Always make sure to bring it down to the benefit of the client. So this is something that's not talked a lot. We don't talk about a lot on this show because we don't talk about a lot of team stuff necessarily. But it applies to EXP, whether you're joining our team or whether you join somebody else's team or whether you join it or any other virtual brokerage. I don't care.
Our team.
Well, I get that, but I'm just saying the principle that I am about to expound applies regardless. Always, if somebody asks you about the brokerage or, when you are talking to the marketplace about you, always translate features into benefits, right? So you being with EXP is a feature. That doesn't explain to them why that's a benefit, right? So if they go, okay, well, why are you with this brokerage that I've never heard of versus this brokerage that I have heard of? You can list off a bunch of features of why you like it for yourself better, but they still don't care about that. What they care about is how does that help me? So it's still even better if you're talking to a client and you have switched over to EXP or even some other brokerage that's no name, you would explain to the client why it helps you give them better service. Yeah. Right. So whether it's SkySlope for transaction processing with EXP and all the technology, like all that stuff.
Well, the thing is that for you guys, if you want to, you can start your own gig. You don't have to fly the EXP flag. You can have them as our brokerage. But like for us, we are the McDaniel Callahan team. Our brand has been known here. We're using our brand because Terry's a broker. And then we put this little dot on the bottom right-hand side says powered by EXP. And so I push the fact that, our team is going to be the ones signing you up. We've been here in the area forever, blah, 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 blah. I don't push the brokerage side. But if they want to, I can. And I can go say, you know what? You got to go to Glassdoor, take a look at the reviews. It was voted one of the best places to work in 2018. It's unbelievably awesome. So, like you said, to the benefits. People just want to know that they're safe at the end of the day. They just want to know they're safe. And, Anthony, if they will be coming to Long Island before the end of the month, if that's what you're saying, or if you're just saying hi, then my apologies.
All right. We're going to finish off with a question here in a second. But Greg, how do people, if they are curious about our team and all the laundry list of benefits and stuff like that, if they want to talk to you, how do they do that?
Guys, what you see right up there, bookmcdaniel.com. Go book a 30-minute call with me. Let's see if this is the right fit for you. If it is, fantastic. We look forward to going down this journey with you. If it's not, that's okay too, man. We still love you. We still want you to be the best version of you in whatever brokerage you choose is best for you. But we would love to have you be on our team and go through this journey with us. So go to bookmcdaniel.com, get a 30-minute call with me, and we'll just kind of tear the layers off and really go from there. But the thing about EXP is that, guys, there's 3 different revenue streams with EXP. In traditional real estate, there's only one stream of income, and that is your commissions. EXP gives you commissions. If you choose to build a team, you'll get a portion of the company dollars, not a part of the agent dollar, part of the company dollar, and a reoccurring whenever they close a deal. And then third is stock. It's a publicly traded company, guys. So every time you do a deal, you get stock. Every time you bring an agent on your team, you get stock. Every time you can buy stock for 20% off on the back end. You can also, your cap is only $16,000. And if you do 20 deals above your cap, you get the $16,000 given back to you in company stock. Guys, this is your 401k. There are no retirement plans for us agents. We are all just nose to ground, do the next deal, do the next deal, do the next deal. We never look up and be like, oh shit, I'm 65 and I have one rental. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Or you can build a healthy team so that, let's say you get injured. Guys, what if you get sick? Like last December, I went sick for a month. I didn't make any money in December because I barely get out of bed. Well, what if there's income coming in? And you have stock, and you have commissions. Yeah. So let's talk about it, guys. BookMcDaniel.com, that's where you can get a hold of me. You can also go to, Matt, where can they go to get 15 minutes with you?
It is very easy, 15.bookjohnson.com. And the reason that you'd grab 15 minutes on my calendar is if you are evaluating kind of the next step in your real estate career, your business, your team, whatever stage you're at, and you're looking at the whole landscape of all these real estate coaches, trainers, programs, courses, instructional stuff, like all this stuff, and you're not quite sure where is the best next step for you, or you're considering something very specific, whether it's a specific coach that we might have had on the show, maybe one of their courses or programs, and you want an outside kind of second opinion, unbiased opinion on whether they're really worth it, whether you'll resonate with that, whether it's the best next step for you. I don't care. Just grab a time on my calendar. Feel free, guys. 15.bookjohnson.com. Obviously, the spots are really limited because the podcast business is super, super busy right now. We're taking on new clients left and right. So I am working late tonight with my director of operations to get new podcasts up and running for you guys in the real estate space. So you'll see those come out soon. So the spots are limited, but grab them, and I'm happy to chat for 15 minutes and give you some unbiased direction and some strategy on where to go next. Now,
Wyatt, PM me afterwards. Let's get a chat with Brandon. We can talk a little bit about, if he's thinking about getting his license. That's longer than what we have to discuss on air. But let's get something together. I have some specific actions that I can direct towards him that will make this transition easier if he's looking to do it.
Perfect. Okay, so last question. Amy Baker says, does anyone have a sheet to help sellers compare agents that they interview? I need a leave-behind sheet that'll help remind sellers of my strengths when they interview others. I'm going to make my own, but I'd love some inspiration from others. Now, we've talked, Greg, about your very famous, you got a trifold brochure, you've got a listing booklet. It's a full-on booklet. I don't know if you've got one there handy or not, but I just want to point out you can use that, and that is your leave-behind. But I do like the idea of having an actual sheet that kind of compares the benefits of working with you versus the benefits of, let's say, a traditional agent. I think that's best presented as a page within your pre-listing packet. I think your pre-listing packet should kind of take care of that and automatically set you apart. The act of sending one, even if nobody ever reads it, and this is a conception that I run across even with agents that we work with on the backside with our mastermind, it does not matter if they read it. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Does not matter. Thud factor is what you're looking for. Testimonials, systems, checklists, give them everything so that they go, holy cow, who is this and why have I never heard of them before? They are going to be the biggest thing in real estate, 2 years from now, right? That's what the pre-listing packet should convey, right? And so, but I think that's having a sheet like that or a page like that where it kind of shows like tick marks, just like with software, basic package, premium package, you can literally go in and say, look, most agents are like the free version. I am the premium version, and this is exactly the chart that lays it out, like tick, 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 tick.
I am the premium. I am premium gasoline.
Yes. You get the premium service without the premium price, Gregory. Without the premium price. How's that for a slogan? Premium service without the premium price. High octane real estate concierge level service.
Someone take that. For the love of God, someone take that and put that out there. That is fucking awesome. Here's the book that we have on our team. It's very heavy cardstock. It's very pretty. Lots of colors, lots of big pictures. So it's my kind of book. Testimonials. We have examples of homes that we have sold in the past. We have 2 pages of that. We're gonna add more meat to this, but this thing is very good. Also, I show up with this thing with our brand on it right there. It's just a little box. You can carry stuff in it, right? But it just looks better than just cruising up with, I got your information. It's on my yellow sheet. You're cruising up like this.
Don't bring your Hobbit pads to listing appointments, Greg?
Matt, look. It goes in It goes
Oh,
in.
it goes into the folder. Gotcha.
Yes.
So it still exists. You still take it in. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
And for those of you who are interested in joining the team, we're actually working to develop a version of that listing booklet for all of our agents that is customizable to you. So that's something that'll be coming. And then you've got your trifold brochure. Yeah, and a lot of other stuff. All right, guys. For the show, make sure, first of all, I just want to thank you, and we love you guys for sharing the show. We're going to end up speaking in a brokerage in February, and it's all put together by a couple of the viewers that are passionate about the show and love the content that we put out and want to bring us in. If that's something that you would like to do, we are open to that. We'll be doing events definitely in California. We're speaking in Australia this year and some other places. So if you'd like to have us in, let us know. But more importantly, we just want to thank you for you guys like telling your broker, telling your other agent friends in the office about the show. We really enjoy that. That's how the show continues to grow. We do not run any advertising. You will not see a bunch of Facebook ads blasting all over the place for the show. The show grows because you guys grow it. So we just want to thank you for that.
Yes, and on parting little gift for you guys, all of you that are watching this, and those of you who are going to be listening to this later, there is a fantastic little thing that I was turned on to by a very nice young lady who's going to be joining our team, and it is called Mentor Box. Mentor Box it's $7, Matt. It's $7 a month. They do interviews with authors. They go over all the major books like that, what Matt and I are talking about here. They have books, they have interviews, they have little proprietary little worksheets on each of the books. They have audio clips from the book. I mean, they have so much in there on all these different books and all these different categories. And for $7 a month, guys, it is an absolutely no-brainer. Look, this is not an affiliate program. I am not getting any money from this. This is just because I have found something where I can actually potentially take more book knowledge in than I could ever have done before in the way that I want to take it in. So go take a look at it. You have a free trial for 3 days. It's mentorbox.com, and just go take a look. I mean, it's honestly pretty cool. I was very pleasantly surprised when I logged in this morning. I'm listening to my first book right now, Building a Story by Donald Miller. So very, very cool stuff there.
Nice. I need to get some more books on that topic. So I like that. All right, Gregory, should we wrap this up? Put a nice little bow on this one. Make sure to subscribe, of course, iTunes, Stitcher for the audio versions, YouTube for the video versions. Make sure that you are following both Greg and I on Facebook, right? There's still room to friend request me, at least probably through the end of the year, I would guess. So you can friend request me. Follow us both. Make sure that you get both of the podcasts, on not only this one, but also the other ones that I co-host, because those broadcast on my personal profile. Make sure you have notifications turned on so that you actually see when we go live so that you can get your questions answered and interact and engage with us while we're actually on the air. We love to do that. It's a lot of fun, and it makes sure that you get the information that you need in real time and not waiting for podcast episodes to come out or going down fruitless Google searches trying to find the answers to your burning questions. Why would you do that when you can just join us live?
I don't know, Matt. The insanity abounds. Why would you do that? That's just...
I love the insanity abounds. That was great. That is a great note to end the show on. The insanity abounds. Thank you very much and good night.
All right, guys. As always, peace out, ninjas!